Hi guys, welcome back to another reaction video here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 18 of Baraou no Souretsu Requiem of the Rose King. But before starting this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me and join me in this great adventure. Okay, look, I said great adventure, but in the latest episodes, things are getting worse and worse. Let's see what's going to happen now that Richard became the King of England. Are you ready to join me with these? Check it out. That's N. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, why he couldn't enter? Where did he go? Oh no, Richard, don't tell me that you're jealous, right? But that's not love. That's not true. If you told Harry about this, I think that even Harry would have accepted me. Oh! Wow. What's happening? Yeah. Oh my! Ah, yes, because they were killed by that person. Exactly. We need to understand who that person is. Who's this? So he is against Richard. I mean, he wants to ruin his kingdom, his reign. Yeah, hon. If you knew. Gatsby! Not as much as you want, but yes, he thinks about you in another way. Oh! He can't betray Richard. Ah. No, no, it's both. He is also a woman. But of course, Anna doesn't know this, so that's why she's helping. No, no, this time you're right, Richard. It's him. I think it's better. So if something happens, we know that that's him. But it will, of course, will be him. Richard's paradise. If that's paradise. Okay. Richmond. Harry Tudor? Ooh! Oh, what the F! And then his name is Harry. No, look. This is destiny. No F way. Now we understand. In fact, yes, this mask was red. That is red, typical of Lancaster. What the F? This is creepy, huh? Wow, this red wine drop that is falling, it's like blood. Come on, Anne, look, finally! I was waiting for the moment in which she was handling everything. He didn't prepare anything for you. Oh, she's suspecting something. No, he will accept. Oh, but this is disgusting that even kids are participating into this costume thing, especially in this case that we are talking about demons. Yeah, because now you accepted yourself more than before. Mm. Wow, Richard is so beautiful anyway. Oh yeah, because you would have stayed already with Harry. No, no, you're worried for something real, actually. That's true. Wow, look, she's so beautiful. in fact, she is the most he is the most beautiful of the rain, actually. Oh, don't tell me that now Harry Tudor is going to fall in love with him or her because she is wearing a woman's clothes. Because he or she is beautiful. Wow. No, I'm pretty sure that Harry is coming. Now who's this? Harry! No, that seems Harry. Look. That seems a Harry of episode 13, 12. No, wait! That's Harry! Did he survive? Oh, please tell me so! Jeanne d'Arc. But that was Harry! Is that Buckingham? Yeah? Oh, come on, look! Now I feel suspicious, look. Buckingham fell in love with Richard. No, that's Richard. Yeah, that's Richard. No, look! Oh, this is Harry! No! He survived! No, Richard, look, if Harry is alive, you don't understand what's going on. That was when you met Harry! Oh! No, that's what happened with Harry at that time. Yes, he doesn't care about you, Richard, as much as that person. No, no, no. No! No! I've always loved you. I've always loved you. No, he doesn't say I love you. He says I want you. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is so bad. Don't tell me that that's Harry, look. No, but that's just a possession, Richard. Oh, no. Eh? No, no, look, I think that that was Harry. That reminds me of a Richard. Harry Tudor. Let's say like this. Oh yeah, because he's the son of Edward Lancaster. Oh no, I'm not ready. That's Elizabeth! Beth, sorry, but... No way. Yes. No, now I have a bad feeling. He came... Yes! Yes! Oh, no, no, now he's coming. He came in the same place with Harry. Oh! No, 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 no. He's going to knock on the door. Yeah. No, no, that's the place of real love, Richard. Yeah. What's his name? No, don't tell me he's called Harry. Eh? No! No! No, 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 this episode... Harry! You're safe! No F way! Wow, guys, if I told you in the previous episodes that this story was going down a little bit, with this episode we went to the stars. I don't know where to start from. Okay, let's start from Richard in this case, so then I will proceed and I will reach Harry. No, okay. Richard is still a slave of this sort of a possession that he or she is having towards Buckingham. Also because we understand that Richard feels comfortable when he is with Buckingham because they both feel guilty or they both feel condemned because of what they are doing. Richard is always searching for these warmth feelings that he or she already felt somehow with somebody else. He or she can't find the same tenderness, the same kindness, the same warmth that he or she is looking for. But instead of not having anything, at least he or she is fine somehow to receive this sort of attention from Buckingham. We already understood, we already know that Buckingham really loves Richard instead. He is trying all his best to get rid of Richard, to push him or her away, to find some excuses of not staying next to him or her in those sort of moments, because otherwise there is the risk that he is going to fall in love more and more with Richard, but he knows already that Richard is the king. So he or she can't put himself or herself in that position, in that critical position. And that's why Buckingham prefers to shut his feelings out. That is the same thing, the same procedure that Richard was using when he or she was meeting that sort of a person that we all know, that means Henry. And in fact, that's why Richard feels more comfortable when he or she is with Buckingham, because Buckingham reflects exactly the same state of mind that even Richard had at that time. So for the first time, Richard feels really understood, because finally he or she revealed his or her identity to Buckingham, and it's the first time that a person is accepting Richard as much as she is. So that's why he feels always sure, he feels as if he or she feels as if Buckingham is a sort of shelter that every time can be reached in the case Richard feels down, feels not understood, feels bad, etc., etc. But now there is a problem. Now we know that there is this person that is Henry Tudor, that is Henry, another Henry from the Lancaster family, who is trying to intrude himself inside the House of York and is trying his best to ruin all Richard's reign, also because we need to have this sort of a revenge. The Tudors, that the Lancasters need in order to regain the power they lost. And as I was telling you in previous episodes, I was telling you that even if Richard was becoming the king, and even if Richard was becoming the king of England, that was not the end, because we know that the War of the Roses went on for 100 years, more or less, so it was impossible for us to say that that's the end, Richard became the king and that's it. No. After that moment, something else has to happen, and we know that throughout the history, this is what happened. Richard III was not the last king, and that's why I was expecting that something else was happening later too. And this Henry Tudor is also trying to ruin Richard's reputation, not just by killing other people and by spreading this rumor that he is a demon, etc., etc. So you know that at that time people were so superstitious. And if you started creating rumors, then people were about to believe it so fastly, because they didn't have proofs of the contrary, and also because, as I was telling you many times, they were religious people, they were superstitious people, so they didn't even want to doubt or to guess something else, because by being devoted to God, they thought, okay, let's believe it, because if that's God's will, we should respect it. Do you remember? Even in the first episodes, when Richard's dad was always saying, look, that's a sign of God, everyone was believing so. And that's why Henry Tudor is trying this strategy by killing people and then spreading this rumor that Richard is the demon, that Richard is the culprit of all this, that there is a sort of omen on this reign. And all people are starting spreading this. But then by seeing that this didn't work, because Richard decided to play this stage in which the main theme is demons, and he did that on purpose so he could reply somehow with this ironic way that he was accepting even these rumors and he could handle these in the best way. He decided to start another of his plans, and look, many episodes before, I was telling you that this moment was about to come, the moment in which Edward, the tiny Edward, that is the son of Anne and Edward Tudor or Edward Lancaster, was about to understand that he is not the son of Richard. And thanks to Henry Tudor, now Edward is going to suspect. He is going to doubt that Richard is not his real father because of the hair color, because that's strange, okay? So I was waiting for this moment, and I told you that, look, sooner or later Edward will suspect about this, or something is about to happen, that he is going to discover that Richard is not his dad, but also that Richard killed his real dad. Well, I think from now on there will be great episodes coming, let me tell you. We saw in this case that Edward was saved by Beth. And we know that Beth is the daughter of Elizabeth, who was condemned already, who was exposed. But Beth is the real flower, let's say, from Elizabeth's family, because she's so kind, she's so beautiful, she really supports Richard, she is doing everything in the name of justice. She's trying to protect Edward, the tiny Edward, and let's see what's going to happen, because now Beth and Edward went away, but Henry Tudor is still there, checking all the situation. So we needed to understand what's the next move from Henry Tudor and what he is going to do, because that's the most important thing, also because he will try everything in his power to regain the reign that is lost. But before going ahead with the other subject, I want to talk about this play that was staged during Richard's transformation into a woman, because Anne had this idea to switch places, and so Richard became a woman. She or he was wearing women's clothes, while Anne was the king and she was wearing men's clothes. For a second, even if it's not comparable, let me tell you once again, this reminds me of Versailles Bara, because in Versailles Bara there is a moment in which Oscar is going to wear women's clothes, and she has this beautiful dress. And of course, if you follow the Versailles Bara, she's going to reach Versailles, where she is going to this party. I don't remember if it was Versailles or if it was Paris, but I remember that she's attending this party, and even over there, they are... I think it was a carnival party in which she had to wear even the mask, so she couldn't be discovered, she couldn't be exposed by others, until Oscar is meeting Fersen. They are dancing together. And we all know that at that time in that story, Oscar was falling in love with Fersen, while Fersen was deeply in love with Marie Antoinette. We know from that moment that Oscar was recognizing for one night her real identity. That means being a woman in woman's clothes, I mean with this woman's princess dress. She was feeling very comfortable because that was the first time that Oscar would have admitted her identity in front of others, even if she was wearing that mask and then this mask was ripped off and Fersen could realize that was Oscar. Yeah, in that moment I find this connection with the Baraou no Souretsu, because even here Richard is partially admitting her woman's identity by wearing this beautiful dress and by wearing makeup and things like this. She is getting in touch with Buckingham. Of course, Buckingham doesn't understand that that's Richard, but when he's realizing that that's Richard, he's shocked, he's surprised, right? As much as Fersen at that time was simply shocked because he said, I recognize these eyes. And in fact, even Buckingham, when he is stopped by Richard, because Richard doesn't want to get rid of him, it's a way to reach that shelter that I was talking to you about a few minutes ago. So when he is understanding that that's Richard, immediately he feels surprised, shocked, because he felt somehow this special connection. And in fact, as much as Fersen said in Versailles Nobara, he is saying, you remind me somebody I know. But at that time, Fersen was also saying, you remind me a friend of mine. And in that moment Oscar felt bad, because of course Oscar fell in love with Fersen. But in this case of Baraou no Souretsu, Buckingham is saying, you remind me somebody I know, but fortunately you're not that person, or something like that. And that's why Richard later wants to stop him, because it's a way to admit him that that's Richard, as much as Oscar ran away from Fersen and Fersen understood that was Oscar, absolutely. Yeah, I like these comparisons with Versailles Nobara, even if there is no match, sorry to say to you, but of course in my heart Versailles Nobara has the top position, one of my favorite anime ever. But yeah, I like to find these sort of connections, because even if the story is totally different, you can definitely see that maybe the author was, I don't want to say inspired, but maybe I don't know if the mangaka is a he or a she, but the author, let's say, maybe really loved Versailles Nobara. Also because every time in this story we find roses, and even the title is Baraou no Souretsu, so there is even this connection somehow. So I really like this moment in which Richard somehow wants to join the demon, and in fact during the episode we hear saying the demon, the demon, the demon, because Richard is still stuck in this place full of darkness, in the place in which Buckingham is a part of it, because Buckingham too feels as if he is a part of this darkness. The Buckingham is trying to bring Richard down and down and down. I mean, in this second part of the story, we saw the descendants of Richard to hell. While in the first part, we saw a sort of hope, as I was telling you many times, in which Richard could discover these feelings in the purest way. And that's why I preferred the first part compared to the second, until this episode. Because, guys, Henry, he's still alive. Henry survived, and this makes me understand that Richard didn't kill him. Maybe Richard wanted him to survive, and that's why he was playing this role of the person who killed Henry, so he could regain, the House of York could regain power. But maybe later we discover that Richard didn't kill him, that Richard spared him on purpose, because actually Richard loved Henry so much that he couldn't kill him. But maybe Richard has never imagined that Henry was about to come back. I mean, maybe Richard was convinced that, okay, I spare his life, then he will go away and he will never come back, because maybe they made a promise. Maybe Richard told Henry, please don't come back. I don't know, we have to discover what happened that day in particular. Or maybe Richard thought that he killed Henry for real, and he or she doesn't even know that Harry is still alive. That would be even more amazing, to be honest. I mean, if I have to decide which path is the best, I think that the second one that I told you is the best. Because if Richard doesn't understand that Harry is still alive, the shock will be even better than the previous option. Do you understand what I mean? That's why I hope that Richard believes that Harry is dead. So when he or she will meet him again, wow, I can't wait for that moment, sincerely. And if you noticed, Richard tried to reach the same places that he reached with Harry, with Buckingham. But the result is different. There is a great difference. Because with Buckingham, Richard can't feel the same things that he or she felt with Henry. We saw that he or she reached the forest, that is the same place where he or she met the first time Harry. We saw that he reached that sort of lake or pond in which Harry and Richard for the first time went inside of it, and Richard was afraid that Harry could have discovered his or her identity for real. And at that time, yeah, it was full of roses surrounding them. And then they are even reaching that house in which Harry and Richard spent the first night together. So it's like as if Richard's conscience really wants to go back there, really wants to go back to the places in which he or she felt really happy, in which he or she really felt the warmth that Richard is still searching for. But he or she can't find the same feelings because the two people are so different. Harry and Buckingham are two different things. Buckingham always wanted to find power, always wanted to reach his goals even by using Richard. We know that. While Harry was always there to try to help Richard, to try to comfort Richard, to support him, to surround him by his love, by his devotion somehow. And that's why they are two different things. Even when Buckingham and Richard were surrounded by these roses, there was a great symbolism because the rose was falling apart, it was destroying. Yeah, because it's a totally different emotion. While when Richard was with Henry at that time in the first part of the story, the roses were shining of this light because Henry was Richard's light, the light of hope, the light that could make Richard understand that he or she can also be loved as much as all the others, and there's no need to reach darkness. You, Richard, can also reach light, but it depends on the people who are surrounding you, because that matters. If the people surrounding you are all dark, they are all spreading negative thoughts, negative vibes, you can also be contaminated by this evil energy, right? But if you are surrounded by positive vibes, by positive energy, by positive people, then even you are shining because you are the reflection of what these people are doing to you. So that's why the same setting can't represent the same feelings. because it also depends on the person Richard is having in front of him or her. And in this case, she or he is also feeling that there is a difference. But guys, this is not finished, because Buckingham's name is Harry. So in this story right now we have three Harry. We have Buckingham, whose name is Henry Stratford. Then we have Harry, that is the Harry we know from part 1. And we have Harry Tudor, that is this man coming from the Lancaster family who wants to get his revenge. So as you can see, Richard right now, he's surrounded by Harry, by this name. And this name, unfortunately for Richard, in this moment, a precise moment, it's like a curse. It's a way to go back to the place in which he or she was happy. But he or she can't reach that happiness anymore. And that's why I'm thinking, does she or he know that Harry is alive? At this point, I don't think so. Because otherwise, he or she would not have this reaction as if he or she is lost. If I know that Harry is still alive, I don't feel shocked when I hear that Buckingham's name is Harry, because yeah, I can think, oh, look at the coincidence, but no, Richard was pale, Richard was frozen, she or he was terrified by that name, because it's like a way to go back to the past, and that past hurts, because that past was happiness, was something that Richard doesn't think that he or she will be able to come back to that anymore. But the Harry of part 1, I call him like this so you understand what I mean, because he is also a Lancastrian Harry, but I don't want to confuse with Henry Tudor and him. That Harry is outside of the house. Oh, look, in the next episode he's going to knock on the door to check if Richard is there. In fact, he's saying, "Are you there? Wow, Harry, I'm so happy you're alive. Look, you are the only person who can save Richard at this point." And I'm so happy that this is happening, because I didn't like the previous episodes. I thought that Richard was following the wrong path ever. But as you can see, that light of hope is still there. Is still there. And oh, this episode was incredible, let me tell you. Last but not least, Anne. I'm so happy that she is back. I mean, somehow I was telling you in previous episodes, where is Anne? Why she's not saying anything? Why she's not doing anything anymore? But today we saw that Anne is trying to understand more about Richard, because we needed to remember that Anne really loves Richard too. She really wants to help him the most. So, as I was telling you in previous episodes, I was so happy when Richard was surrounded, not by possession, not by slavery, not by all this bad stuff, but Richard, when he or she was surrounded by love, affection, dedication, and whatsoever, he also was becoming a different person. And now that you see that even Anne is trying to understanding the truth, is trying her best to understand what's going on with Richard and why there is this mysterious aura around him or her, because of course Anne doesn't know that Richard is both a man and a woman. She now is suspecting that Richard is a woman, but we know that Richard is both. Maybe this truth will shock her, or if Anne is so intelligent as I believe she is, she will not be shocked and she will accept Richard for what he or she is. That is even better, because Anne accepted so many things about Richard. She accepted his or her behavior that was becoming worse the more we went on. She was somehow partially accepting even the truth that maybe Richard is a woman. So as you can see, Anne is not the usual woman who can be shocked in these sort of stories and then she's running away because of the shock. No, I think Anne has a different personality and she was already shocked in her life many times, so she's not afraid to be shocked once again, maybe. Now positivity is coming back because we have Anne, we have Gatsby, and we have Harry. So Richard is going to be saved somehow. But I am afraid of Edward now because the tiny Edward is going to discover a bad truth, something negative regarding Richard. So maybe even Edward will be unfortunately surrounded by the presence of Henry Tudor, who's going to manipulate his mind, and maybe this tiny Edward is going to kill Richard because of this revenge. So once again, the reign will be moved from the House of York to the House of Lancaster. I don't want that. Now that Harry is back,